Sinbad, the legendary comedian who has brought laughter to millions, is now facing the greatest challenge of his life. In 2020, a severe stroke completely changed his life and the lives of his family. Once a vibrant entertainer, Sinbad was forced into a grueling recovery journey, where every day became a battle for survival. Yet, even in the face of adversity, his unbreakable spirit continues to shine. His family navigates both heartbreak and the precious moments they cherish together. This is not just a story about illness. It's a testament to resilience and unconditional love. Join us as we uncover this deeply moving journey. Don't forget to hit subscribe to stay updated on the most inspiring stories. Sinbad, a tumultuous childhood and the warm family of a legendary comedian. Sinbad, whose real name is David Adkins, was born on November 10, 1956, in Benton Harbor, Michigan. It's no coincidence that he later became one of America's most beloved comedians. His humor stemmed from his upbringing. His father was a strict yet loving Baptist minister, while his mother was a dedicated teacher. Growing up in a large family, Sinbad quickly learned how to stand out among his siblings. And humor was the weapon that helped him shine from an early age. Being the son of a minister, Sinbad's life was anything but easy. His father had strict principles, always expecting his children to grow up with discipline, morality, and faith. Sunday mornings were filled with long sermons at church, where Sinbad listened to his father preach about responsibility, kindness, and perseverance. But his father wasn't just a strict parent. He also had a natural sense of humor and often taught lessons in ways that were both intimidating and hilarious. From him, Sinbad inherited both discipline and comedic talent. Even as a child, Sinbad was a natural entertainer. He never missed an opportunity to make those around him laugh. If he got in trouble with his parents, he would quickly come up with a funny story to avoid punishment. His friends and siblings loved the way he told stories because every time he spoke, the room would erupt with laughter. Little did anyone know that these living room comedy routines would lay the foundation for a remarkable career in the future. Sinbad wasn't just a storyteller. He had an intense passion for performing. He frequently participated in school plays, always finding ways to turn ordinary moments into unforgettable ones. But his favorite stage was at home, where every family dinner became his personal comedy show. He would mimic voices, pretend to be funny characters, or retell his father's stories in a humorous way. These moments weren't just practice for him, they also filled his family with pride. Despite his natural comedic abilities, Sinbad's childhood wasn't all sunshine and laughter. He constantly had to meet his parents' high expectations. The pressure was sometimes overwhelming, but it also motivated him to strive for success. The lessons his parents taught him, never giving up, turning the ordinary into something extraordinary, and facing every challenge with a smile, became the key to overcoming obstacles in his life. There's no doubt that Sinbad's upbringing played a crucial role in shaping him into a comedy legend. His family stories, strict yet loving lessons, mischievous moments, and laughter-filled meals became the invaluable material that allowed him to captivate audiences worldwide. Sinbad wasn't just a comedian. He was a master storyteller, someone who could make an entire theater roar with laughter with just a single line. Do you find Sinbad's childhood fascinating? Did you grow up in a strict yet laughter-filled family like his? Share your story in the comments below. From NBA dreams to comedy legend, the turning point in Sinbad's life. From a young age, in addition to his natural talent for comedy, Sinbad had another deep passion: basketball. He didn't just love the game, he was truly gifted. Standing at 6 feet 5 inches, 1.96 meters, With exceptional skills, Sinbad quickly became a standout player on his high school team. Every game he played was a spectacle. His agility, sharp strategy, and relentless determination made him a rising star. His talent earned him a basketball scholarship to the University of Denver. At the time, his dream wasn't to become a comedian. It was to play professionally in the NBA. Getting into college with a basketball scholarship was a huge source of pride for Sinbad and his family. He trained tirelessly, holding on to the hope of being drafted into a professional team. Every time he touched the ball, he felt like he was one step closer to making his dream a reality. But fate had other plans. During a crucial game, Sinbad suffered a serious injury. It didn't just sideline him for months, it shattered his hopes of ever playing in the NBA. His biggest dream slipped through his fingers, leaving behind an emptiness that was hard to fill. Losing basketball threw Sinbad into a crisis. He felt lost, uncertain about what to do next. In the midst of his struggle, he made a bold decision to join the U.S. Air Force. It wasn't something he had ever envisioned for himself, but at that moment, it felt like his only way forward. Sinbad became an aircraft maintenance technician, a job far removed from anything he had ever imagined. But it was in this unexpected setting that he discovered another hidden talent: the ability to make people laugh. Life in the military was strict and demanding, often filled with stress. Sinbad quickly realized that humor was a powerful way to help people cope. He would crack jokes, tease his fellow airmen, and turn tense moments into bursts of laughter. His humor not only kept him entertained, but also lifted the spirits of those around him. For the first time, he began to think, maybe this is what I was meant to do. Gradually, Sinbad's passion for comedy ignited. He started performing in amateur shows within the military, where every time he grabbed the mic, the room erupted with laughter. Being on stage gave him a rush, similar to the feeling he had playing basketball, but even better. He wasn't just entertaining people, he was connecting with them on a deeper level. That's when he realized life may have taken basketball away from him, but it had given him an even greater dream in return. After leaving the Air Force, Sinbad pursued comedy seriously. He performed in small clubs, constantly refining his craft, learning from every show, and slowly building his reputation. His years in the military had instilled in him perseverance, sharp observational skills, and, above all, an unbreakable spirit. The transition from basketball to comedy wasn't something he had ever planned, but it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to him. Have you ever faced an unexpected turning point in your life? Have you ever lost one dream only to discover something even greater? Share your story in the comments below. From military stages to Hollywood, Sinbad's unexpected journey. After leaving the military, Sinbad faced two choices: return to a normal life or pursue his passion for comedy. But with his fearless nature and willingness to take risks, he decided to bet everything on stand-up comedy. He had no connections in the entertainment industry, no extra money to fall back on, but he had the most important thing: a unique voice, the ability to energize a crowd, and a relentless spirit. In the early days, he traveled from place to place, performing in small comedy clubs, noisy bars, and even on street stages. Every night, he stood before a crowd of strangers, trying to make them laugh. And in doing so, he refined his craft and became a true performer. His first big break came in 1983 when he competed on Star Search, a popular talent competition at the time that had launched the careers of many comedians and entertainers. With his unique comedic style, Sinbad quickly became a standout contestant. He didn't just make audiences laugh, he created a signature style: smart, sharp, and clean humor. Audiences loved him for his authenticity, and even though he didn't win the competition, Star Search opened a crucial door for him: the door to Hollywood. After Star Search, Sinbad started attracting attention from television producers. One of his first major opportunities came with The Red Fox Show, a sitcom led by legendary comedian Red Fox. Working alongside an icon like Fox was an invaluable experience, and Sinbad took full advantage of it. He learned about acting, stage presence, and, most importantly, how to turn even the smallest moments on screen into something unforgettable. Though The Red Fox Show didn't last long, it became a stepping stone for Sinbad's career. Then came an even bigger opportunity. He was cast in the hit sitcom A Different World, one of the most popular TV shows of the late 80s. His role as Walter Oakes, a charismatic and humorous dorm director, quickly won over audiences. Sinbad wasn't just another supporting actor. He turned his character into a crucial part of the show. His natural acting style, mixed with spontaneous humor and undeniable charm, made him impossible to ignore. This was the moment that elevated Sinbad from an unknown comedian to a beloved TV star. The success of A Different World not only solidified Sinbad's place in Hollywood, but also opened the door to even more opportunities. Movie producers started taking notice, TV shows invited him as a guest star, and his stand-up performances began selling out. But what truly set Sinbad apart from many other comedians was his commitment to clean comedy. He believed that humor didn't need to rely on profanity or controversy to be funny. All it took was a fresh, comedic perspective on life. From a young man who once dreamed of the NBA, to an Air Force serviceman unsure of his future, to becoming one of the most beloved comedians of the late 80s and 90s, Sinbad's journey is proof that when one door closes, another one always opens. You just have to be brave enough to step through it. What do you think about Sinbad's journey? Have you ever chased a dream without knowing if it would work out? Share your story in the comments below. Sinbad, a comedy legend with a unique style. Unlike many other comedians, Sinbad stood out with his clean comedy style. No profanity, no vulgarity, no shock value. Yet he still had audiences laughing uncontrollably. He believed that the most genuine laughter comes from the simple moments in life, from experiences everyone has had but never realized could be so funny. This uniqueness quickly earned him a place in the hearts of audiences of all ages, from kids to adults. People could take their entire family to a Sinbad show without worrying about inappropriate jokes. That was a rare quality in the comedy world, and one of the key reasons why he became a legend. As his fame grew, Sinbad expanded his career from stand-up comedy to television and film. Producers didn't just want him as an actor, they wanted to tap into his natural stage charisma for family-friendly comedies. One of his most memorable films was Houseguest, 1995, where he played Kevin Franklin, a man caught in a sticky situation who has to pose as a doctor to escape trouble. With his quick wit and impeccable comedic timing, Sinbad turned every scene into a full-on comedy showcase, leaving audiences in stitches. In 1996, Sinbad further solidified his place in Hollywood with First Kid, a comedy about a clumsy but well-meaning Secret Service agent assigned to protect the president's son. With his lively personality, Sinbad's character became both a bodyguard and a friend to the boy, creating hilarious yet heartwarming moments. The film was not only a commercial success, but also made Sinbad a household name among children and families. But perhaps the film most closely associated with Sinbad is Jingle All the Way, 1996, one of Hollywood's classic Christmas movies. He played Myron Larrabee, a desperate father caught in a chaotic race to find a rare toy for his son on Christmas Eve. The film was not just a comedy. It also captured the pressures parents face during the holiday season. Starring alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad held his own against the action megastar, delivering some of the film's most unforgettable moments. From wild chase scenes to iconic one-liners, this role cemented his status as one of the most beloved comedians of the 90s. Despite his success on the big screen, Sinbad never abandoned his roots. Stand-up comedy. He continued to perform live, releasing multiple stand-up specials such as Sinbad, Brain Damaged, 1990, and Sinbad, Afros and Bell-Bottoms, 1993, both of which were widely acclaimed. He was also one of the pioneers in bringing stand-up comedy to cable television, paving the way for many future comedians. From small comedy clubs to blockbuster films, Sinbad was more than just a comedian. He was a symbol of optimism, perseverance, and authenticity. He proved that in an entertainment industry filled with competition and controversy, there was still room for those who stayed true to themselves. And that's why, even after all these years, Sinbad's name continues to leave a lasting impact on audiences everywhere. Do you remember any of Sinbad's movies? Which moment made you laugh the most? Share your favorite memories in the comments. Sinbad's fateful love story. Love, loss, and reunion. Importantly, as co-parents to their two children, Paige and Royce, they prioritized their responsibilities as parents above all else. Because of this, there was no bitterness or resentment, only fond memories and mutual respect. Sinbad often admitted that, despite the divorce, Meredith still understood him better than anyone else. There were things he could only confide in her. As time passed, misunderstandings and past wounds began to fade. They both realized that despite walking separate paths, their hearts still belonged to each other. After 10 years apart, Sinbad and Meredith unexpectedly rekindled their relationship. It wasn't a fleeting romance. It was a love that had been tested, one that recognized what had been lost and was willing to fight for a second chance. In 2002, they officially remarried. Their reunion surprised many, but those who knew them well saw it as the perfect ending to their love story, one that had always been meant to be. Sinbad jokingly said in an interview, "I couldn't find anyone better than Meredith, and she couldn't find anyone who could put up with her the way I do. So, we just got back together." Behind the humor, though, was a love that endured, built on years of growth and appreciation for one another. Gone were the youthful arguments. Now they simply cherished their time together. Their children, Paige and Royce, grew up in a family that, despite its ups and downs, was always filled with love. Sinbad and Meredith's story is not just about love. It's about maturity, forgiveness, and valuing what truly matters. They lost each other once, but that loss made them realize each other's worth. Not everyone gets the chance to fall in love again with the same person, but Sinbad and Meredith did, proving that sometimes true love will always find its way back. What do you think of Sinbad's love story? Do you believe in rekindling old love? Share your thoughts in the comments. Sinbad's life and death battle. After a stroke, Sinbad's life has always been filled with laughter. But in October 2020, fate tested him with a devastating challenge. A severe stroke struck, putting him in critical condition. The cause was a blood clot in his brain, which suddenly took him down, leaving him unable to control his body. For someone as energetic as Sinbad, the inability to stand on his own was something he had never experienced before. When he was rushed to the hospital, doctors determined that his condition was extremely serious and that immediate surgery was necessary to save his life. After the first surgery, his family and fans hoped for a gradual recovery. But the nightmare wasn't over. Just days later, Sinbad suffered a second stroke. Another blood clot formed, pushing him into an even more life-threatening state. This time, doctors had to perform an even more complex operation. The risks were high, but there was no other option. The battle for survival between Sinbad and death became more intense than ever. He remained in a coma for weeks, leaving his family and friends in deep fear and anxiety. When he finally woke up, Sinbad faced a heartbreaking reality. He had completely lost the ability to walk. His body was weak, and his nervous system was severely damaged, making even the simplest tasks, walking, moving his limbs, and even speaking, tremendously difficult. For someone with such a strong-willed personality, this was a shock beyond words. But instead of giving in, he chose to fight back like a warrior. He once said, "I've stood on stage for so many years. I can't let it end like this. I will stand again." The road to recovery was long, painful, and exhausting. He had to undergo months of physical therapy, learning to move little by little. Every step, every movement required an incredible amount of perseverance and determination. His family stood by his side, especially his wife, Meredith Fuller, and their children. Their unwavering support became his greatest source of strength. Throughout this time, friends, colleagues, and millions of fans from around the world continued to send him words of encouragement, giving him the motivation to keep going. Although he hasn't fully recovered, Sinbad has achieved what once seemed impossible. From being bedridden, he gradually regained the ability to sit up, move his limbs, and even take steps with the help of support devices. Little by little, he is defying the odds with his extraordinary willpower. Beyond his personal fight, Sinbad has become a source of inspiration for many, openly sharing his recovery journey. He wants to prove that no matter how cruel life may be, people can always rise again if they refuse to give up. Sinbad's story isn't just about a famous comedian. It's about resilience, strength, and an unbreakable spirit. He battled death and came back, proving that human determination knows no limits. And if one thing is certain, it's that Sinbad has never stopped fighting and never stopped bringing hope and inspiration to the world. Are you inspired by Sinbad's incredible perseverance? Leave a comment to send him your words of encouragement. Sinbad, the extraordinary fight for life. In October 2020, Sinbad, the man who brought laughter to millions, suddenly faced a life-altering crisis, a severe stroke that left him collapsed and helpless. A blood clot in his brain put him in critical condition, requiring 2 major surgeries back-to-back. But even after surviving the clutches of death, Sinbad's journey was far from over. Following the life-saving procedures, he fell into a deep coma for weeks. His family braced for the worst. No one knew if he would ever wake up again, and if he did, whether he would still be the Sinbad they knew. Then, something miraculous happened. When Sinbad finally opened his eyes, his family was overwhelmed with joy. But that joy quickly turned into heartbreak. He had lost the ability to speak and move. His body no longer responded to his brain's commands, and even the simplest actions, like lifting a finger or blinking, became impossible challenges. For a man who had once thrived on energy and stage presence, this was a living nightmare. He lay motionless, unable to express himself, unable to do anything but watch the world around him. But though his body was weak, his spirit remained unbroken. Refusing to surrender to fate, Sinbad embarked on the grueling journey to reclaim his life. Physical therapy became the cornerstone of his battle. Every day was a relentless struggle against his own body. At first, even twitching a finger seemed impossible, but with the dedication of his medical team and the unconditional love of his family, he never gave up. Slowly, he relearned everything from scratch, lifting an arm, bending a knee, and eventually regaining his balance. This painstaking process took months, and every tiny milestone was a monumental victory. What gave Sinbad the strength to push forward was the unwavering support of his wife, Meredith Fuller, and their children. They stood by him every step of the way, ensuring he never felt alone in his fight. Friends, colleagues, and fans worldwide also sent messages of encouragement, creating a wave of love and support that fueled his determination. "He's a true warrior," a family member shared. "As long as he's breathing, nothing can break him." Then, after months of sweat, tears, and unimaginable pain, another miracle happened. Sinbad stood up for the first time since his stroke. It was a moment of pure triumph, bringing tears to the eyes of everyone around him. From being completely dependent on others, he had now taken his first steps with the aid of medical equipment. He wasn't fully recovered yet, but just the fact that he could stand on his own 2 feet was nothing short of extraordinary. To many, this was a sign. Sinbad wasn't done fighting. He was determined to reclaim everything he had lost. Sinbad's recovery journey isn't just about physical strength. It's a testament to his unshakable will and fighting spirit. He once made the world laugh with his humor, and now he continues to inspire through his battle for survival. Sinbad has never given up, and he is slowly but surely making his way back. Are you inspired by Sinbad's incredible resilience? Leave a comment below to send him your support. Sinbad, from comedy stardom to the worst financial crisis. Sinbad, the comedian who lit up the screen in the 90s and brought laughter to millions, faced a financial crisis that few saw coming. At the peak of his career, he was a household name, but behind the scenes, he was struggling with overwhelming debt. His financial troubles hit rock bottom when he filed for bankruptcy twice, first in 2009 and again in 2013, shocking fans and the entertainment industry alike. How did a once successful entertainer find himself in such a dire situation? The main reason was an enormous tax debt that exceeded $10 million. Sinbad had earned millions through stand-up comedy, TV shows, and movies, but he lacked financial management skills. He invested in large projects that didn't yield the expected returns. On top of that, excessive personal spending and financial missteps worsened his situation. By 2009, he was drowning in unpaid taxes and had no choice but to declare bankruptcy for the first time. Despite his efforts to revive his career, just 4 years later, in 2013, Sinbad had to file for bankruptcy again. At that point, he reported having less than $50,000 in assets, while his debts had skyrocketed past $10 million. Most of it owed to federal and state taxes. He lost nearly everything, including his home, cars, and investments. Once a top-tier comedian, he now faced a crushing financial burden, making this one of the most challenging periods of his life. Just when things seemed to be stabilizing, tragedy struck again in 2020 when Sinbad suffered a severe stroke, pushing him into an even deeper crisis. The cost of medical treatment was overwhelming, and with his ability to work completely taken away, his family faced severe financial strain. In response, they created an online fundraising page to seek help from his fans. "We know he would never ask for this himself, but we want to give him the best chance at recovery," his family shared. Amazingly, fans, colleagues, and friends from the entertainment industry came together, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars to support him. This generosity not only helped fund his recovery, but also proved the deep love and admiration people have for him, a comedian who had once brought them so much joy. From fame to financial ruin, from the heights of success to the depths of hardship, Sinbad has shown remarkable resilience. He has never given up, and the unwavering support of his family, friends, and fans continues to fuel his fight. What are your thoughts on Sinbad's incredible journey? Drop a comment below to send him your encouragement. Sinbad, the steel spirit in the storms of life. Born to bring laughter to the world, Sinbad's life has been marked by some of the harshest challenges imaginable. From the spotlight of the stage to the struggles with illness and financial crises, Sinbad has never lost his optimism and unwavering stars. Not only is Sinbad a talented artist, but he is also a symbol of optimism. Despite physical pain and financial difficulties, he maintained his smile and spoke about the future with fierce belief. He believes that nothing is impossible as long as one has the will to fight. I will not give up. I have never quit in my life, and this time will be no different, he powerfully shared. Anyone who has worked with Sinbad knows he is full of energy and zest for life. Even in the darkest moments, he still jokes with doctors and encourages other patients at the rehabilitation center. For Sinbad, life is a stage, and even if he stumbles, he wants to keep performing, not to lament, but to spread joy. Currently, Sinbad is still on the road to recovery, and what he wishes most is to one day step back on stage, microphone in hand, and make his audience laugh again. This journey is fraught with challenges, but with a spirit that never falters, Sinbad has proven that as long as there is faith, we can overcome any difficulty. Do you believe that Sinbad will one day return to the stage? Leave a comment and send your encouragement to this legend. Thank you for taking the time to follow Sinbad's heartfelt story. We truly appreciate your support as we reflect on the incredible journey of this legendary comedian. We hope his story not only gives you insight, but also inspires perseverance, love, and the strength to overcome life's challenges. If you found this content meaningful, don't forget to hit subscribe to continue this journey with us and discover more inspiring stories. Once again, a heartfelt thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.